again.
Okay.
All right, back to Jim Jam.
So the political persecution and prosecution of former President Donald Trump is in full swing. And they just came to it as the corrupt judge, corrupt attorney general, or a prosecutor. Is she the attorney general, Letitia James?
She's a prosecutor.
She's just a prosecutor. And
that creepy ass judge.
And they prosecuted him for, they say he inflated the value of a property he owned so he could get a bank loan. You know, the thing that is standard. It's like if
it's called capitalism.
It's called capitalism. If I'm trying to sell a car, I put the price high and then we negotiate down. Just like, so what Trump did was he put the price high and the bank came in and they negotiated him down and then they came to an agreement. He got the loan. He paid the loan back to the bank.
They made a healthy profit.
The bank made a healthy profit.
And also,
there's no
victim.
He
didn't exaggerate even. If you look up the prices of the...
But the bank even said they would go back. They would like to do business with him again.
Yeah.
So this is a victimless crime. It's not even a crime. And you got a corrupt judge and a corrupt prosecutor. This is what I thought they did in banana republics, but United States is a banana republic since they elected Donald Trump, a guy who didn't want to do foreign wars. That's all it took. And you're saying that I have to vote for his political enemy to save democracy? Democracy's out the window. And what the New York Post is saying, it says Dem elites shouldn't be laughing at Trump's civil trial outcome. They just made him a political martyr. What do you mean just? The two bullshit impeachments did that, plus that crazy lady civil trial and Russiagate. He's been a martyr for a while.
I never even liked him on any level, and now I think he's funny because you hammered him so much.
That's right.
You know who agrees with me? Jamie Dimon from Chase.
So here's what the New York Post says. Was there ever a more predictable outcome than that of Donald Trump's civil trial? Attorney General Letitia James, she's the Attorney General, came into office vowing to punish him and ignore all other crimes. Judge Arthur Engoron found him guilty before anyone even said it was guilty before they even started the trial.
Jesus, that judge looks like the punishment if you're bad at Christmas in some Norwegian countries.
Yes.
He shows up.
It was all over, but the punishment, a $355 million fine and a 3-year ban from running a business in New York. Wow. So here's what, so now business people, because what they're accusing Trump of doing is called normal business.
Right.
And so now they're prosecuting Trump for doing normal real estate business. So now most people are afraid that if they run afoul of the establishment in New York, they will also be used in they'll corrupt the justice system to make them criminal. I've been telling people this. I tried to explain it to numbskull Cornel West when he was on my show, but he
knows about business.
But he's too big of an ivory tower hypocrite and pussy. I'll just say
a guy who lives on grants. You're
a guy who lives
business to him.
right. To admit what was going on right in front of his face. Cornel West doesn't have the stones of a YouTuber to tell the truth about that. Even if it's happening to your political enemy, it would happen to Cornel West if he ever actually did oppose the establishment in any meaningful way. They would criminalize him too. But he knows he'll never do that, which is why he pretended he didn't see what was happening. So this, again, I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not going to vote for Trump. But I see what's happening. They would do this to Bernie Sanders if he stood up. They would do this to Cornel West if he stood up. They will do this to anybody who stands up against the establishment, just like they did to Edward Snowden, just like they're doing to Julian Assange. This is what the establishment does. And now people in New York who are actual businessmen don't want to do business in New York anymore because they're afraid if the establishment gets pissed off at them, they're going to do what they did to Trump to them. And so the governor of New York had to give a statement reassuring people that, no, we're just doing fake political prosecutions of Donald Trump. And here's how she said it.
That's reassuring.
She goes, I understand that the Trump ruling might make New York business people fearful, but this is really an extraordinarily unusual circumstance. Yeah, because the establishment, the military-industrial complex, wants to prosecute him and criminalize him so they can get their war money going. This is an extraordinary, unusual circumstance that the law-abiding, rule-following New Yorkers who are business people have nothing to worry about until you cross the establishment.
Which could happen at any moment.
Which could happen at any moment. Just say that you don't like this prosecution, and they'll come after you.
You remember Occupy Wall Street? where
Yes.
they took that real. Now, it might have just looked like some smelly hippies, but the business people took that so seriously that life went straight downhill after that. If
That's
you
right.
recall.
They've been.
You think they don't take this seriously?
That's right. So that's what the governor said. And this is very different. I like how she says this is it's an extraordinarily unusual. Yeah, it's different because we hate Trump. So you don't have to worry that we weaponize the law to go after a guy we don't like. We probably never do that again. As long as the establishment likes you.
Yeah. So it's like canceling has finally, you know, what's unusual about this is how clumsily and how obvious it is. Like it used to be not quite as, or maybe I could just see it better. I don't know. Maybe I was just dumb the whole time, but I don't remember it being this openly.
It's just blatant right out in the open.
Like,
and so here's a guy, Kevin O'Leary, goes on CNN. I can't believe they brought him on because Kevin O'Leary, even when a scumbag like Kevin O'Leary is going to be on your side, I don't want to call him a scumbag.
I do. That's the guy that promoted FTX. Don't you know that?
My God. That's right. He said he would still do business with FTX guy.
And he crosses the line at this.
That's how bad it is. Even Kevin O'Leary has something to say about it.
He'll never go do business in New York, but he will do business with the FTX.
That's how scary it is.
Yeah.
For businessmen. Watch what he says.
All this in an appeal, which I think it should be appealed. He'll work hard to raise it. I think he can do it. But I don't think this case is about Trump anymore at all, because you heard the governor of New York come out yesterday and say, look, everybody, don't be scared about doing business in New York, because the only people we prosecute are people like Donald Trump who don't behave well. That didn't go over very well with the investment community because we're all asking each other, who's next? This was a victimless crime. Nobody lost any money. And a judge out of nowhere put on a $355 million penalty. I mean, who's next? So if you think
Kevin,
about
I don't want to cut you off, but I hear about the so-called victimless crimes, but the laws on the books, falsification of business records in second degree, issuing false.
I love this argument, but he broke laws. Then I didn't know we were prosecuting past presidents because they broke laws. You know, Barack Obama's a war criminal. Every president in my lifetime's a war criminal. George Bush ordered a torture program that was worldwide, and he didn't get prosecuted.
Barack Obama said it's better for everyone if we don't prosecute the torture we did. But this law, but I don't even believe he broke. By the way, I don't believe
he didn't break a law.
Yeah, I don't believe it at all.
But now all of a sudden, it's about the rule of law, Kurt. Okay, here we go.
Statements, insurance fraud, conspiracy, and all these different aspects of it. Those are actual crimes. I take it your point is that these should not have been prosecuted?
Well, my point is there's never been a case like this in 75 years. Everything you just listed off is done by every real estate developer everywhere on earth in every city. This has never, ever been prosecuted. But here's the real point that people in New York should concern themselves with. You can put your money anywhere. I'm a real estate developer. Do you think there's a chance I would ever take a chance on New York again? New York is turning itself into a flyover state. I have to build data centers now. I'm not going to go to New York. New York has power. It's got fiber optics. It's got Niagara Falls. But no, we're not even thinking about it. We're going to places that have the exact same thing, where we have rational governors that have never done this to investors. This is about New York and its people. If I were in New York today and I was living there, I would ask myself, maybe we should hire better management. Why is this happening to us? Why are we becoming a flyover state? Why are investors
Kevin,
concerned about putting their money there?
But shouldn't you ask that? Wouldn't those people also be saying, first of all, I do wonder how many people take issue with the idea that every investor is engaged in falsifying business records, and every investor is engaged in what has been accused of Donald Trump and the Trump.
That's like saying, I think people take issue that every used car salesman actually tries to inflate the price of the car before he negotiates down. I think they give you the first fair price first up, but this is crazy.
Well, media people are very stupid, a lot of them, and they don't know anything about business. So she just heard that capitalism might be corrupt now. She can't believe it. And you should listen to this scumbag guy from Shark Tank, because people that are way into money, that's all they look at.
That's all.
Well, what is my investment? I can't even say it's bad to think that way, because why wouldn't you? If you know the state can abuse the law to go after you, and you're already a scumbag because you work in real estate.
That's right. Real estate is the slimiest, one of the slimiest professions out there.
By the way, all the rent might come down in New York because of this. I swear to God, because all the foreign investment that is artificially keeping it, which, you know, that'd be a good thing for me if I lived in New York, but it wouldn't be good for New York having to pay for all these illegal aliens now.
They already have like something like a 42% unused occupancy in business.
Yeah, Tim Dillon told me a while ago.
Yeah,
how
they're hurting in New York.
Why'd the housing crash not affect rent here at all? And it turns out because foreign investors have just bought up all the properties.
That's right.
Yeah.
Organization, because there's probably a lot who are saying to themselves, I've never falsified my business records. I know what a square foot looks like. I know what I can.
But it's weird you didn't find one of those people.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird she didn't find a successful real estate person who said, I never did what Trump did?
I'm sure they all hold up in court.
Because if they could, they would have brought them in. But why wouldn't you bring them in? You bring in Kevin O'Leary. Here we go.
Ask for and what I have the money to support. So I wonder to what extent that really is true. But on the second point, wouldn't there be many companies who would not want to do business or loan money to people like yourself or investors if they know that they can get away with fraud and there's no recourse to protect them?
Excuse me, what fraud? This is not about Trump anymore. When you get a developer that builds a building and he says it's worth $400 million and he wants to borrow $200 million from a bank, which happens every day, everywhere on earth, including every American city. Every developer is an entrepreneur. They shine the light on their building and they say it's worth 400. The bank does its own due diligence, as was done in this case, because they're very good at it. The banks are very good, and they say, no, it's worth 300. We're only going to loan you 150 million. That haggling has gone on for decades. That's how it works. And then in this case, even the bank that was supposedly defrauded testified and said, we didn't lose anything. We want to do business with this guy again. We'd like to. But the judge said, no. Let's penalize this developer for $355 million. And if we're going to do that, let's penalize all the developers all across America. They've all done the same thing. All of them should go to jail, and we should stop building buildings. That's what the message is from New York. Even the governor herself is concerned about what this looks like to investors all around the world. It's not just U.S. domestic. All around the world, people are talking about what happened here. You really think people want to invest money in New York after this? How about we go somewhere else?
I think there are people who would. I don't want to cut you off, but
you are.
Converse with you
instead. Just did.
It's only because I want to have a conversation,
you know what?
Kevin,
I respect
as opposed to just having you tell me.
I respect you because you're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. You understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, she's a scumbag.
I got to tell you, I'm respectable for a number of reasons, Kevin O'Leary, but being a lawyer is one of those issues. But I'll tell you,
She's respectable for a number of issues.
But being a lawyer is one of them.
What is that?
What the hell did I just watch?
I don't know what that even means. So Manhattan has gone from the financial hub of the Western world to being a national urine sample submitted for drug testing. That's what this is.
I thought she was stupid, but she's actually a lawyer. So that means she's knowingly.
She's on purpose being stupid.
That's really something.
Yeah, here we go.
When I hear your conversation, and I do want to converse with you about this point, I understand that there are legitimate concerns that were raised during the trial and will continue to be raised about who the quote unquote, who is actually bringing the suit. It wasn't the banks who were saying that we as consumers or unsophisticated feel this way, but Letitia James, the Attorney General, and I know you want to expand beyond Trump, has suggested, well, it's about making the playing field level for those who are not the major and billionaire investors, but for those who are supposed to put business records out there, want to get a loan, the idea of making sure that they have to have the same true statements included as those who have a lot more money. Is there any weight to that for you?
Well, I ask you, who lost money? And I'll make it even clearer. You and we're developing a data center together. And I say to you, we can go to New York, where this just happened. It's your money now. You're now an investor, and you're taking risk. You're an entrepreneur with me, right beside Oklahoma, North Dakota, West Virginia, where the governors actually ran businesses. Let's go there, where this never happened before. They have power. They have permits. They've got legislation that's supportive of entrepreneurship. Why would we go to New York? Why take the risk? My only point is, did we just diminish the great state of New York and the great people of New York?
Yes.
And shouldn't they ask for better management so they don't become a flyover state?
And the answer is, she knows that it's true what he's saying. She does know.
Good playing dumb, though, I gotta say.
But she is playing dumb.
New York has the highest taxes in the country, the worst regulatory environment, and it's incredibly mismanaged. And I'm pointing out now, on top of that, you get this insanity. A victimless crime, and forget about Trump. It's not about Trump. I don't care about Trump in this. I care about America, and I care about entrepreneurship, and I care about democracy and the fairness. The judicial system is now being criticized. People are asking themselves, the bar of New York, is this judge rational to charge $355 million in a case where no one lost any money? Is that good for the people of New York? Shouldn't the people of New York wake up to this and say, what's happening to us? Why is this becoming so perverse? Why are we the focus of this injustice? And I had nothing to do with Trump. I'm not supporting Trump. I'm supporting American entrepreneurship. And New York is slowly becoming the #1 loser state in America. I'm sorry. That's what's happening.
And so now they're not going to get the business investment that he's actually talking about. He actually knows what he's talking about in that. First of all, try to get another Shark Tank in New York. That's not going to happen. But
Well,
second
yeah.
of all, New York desperately needs that kind of money investment, because where else they didn't get their money to give to build community centers for migrants?
Yeah, they've got a flood of them now.
Yes.
The only reason New York could get away with this bullshit is because a bunch of rich people would just mindlessly invest their money in there because it's New York. I mean, how do you manage to pull that off where the rich dickheads that support your stupidity, you chase them out of your state? They're utterly chased out now. Kevin O'Leary, again, a guy that would work with Sam Bankman-Fried again, won't touch New York.
Won't touch New York.
Wow.
Hey, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? When it comes to staying healthy on the go, you can never be too prepared. Whether you're a frequent traveler or remote worker or an avid outdoorsman or literally anyone with a pulse, the wellness company's travel emergency kit is here, going to be your new best friend. If you don't have a pulse, you've got bigger problems. Am I right? Come on. The wellness company's travel emergency kit contains 6 prescription medications, over-the-counter meds, and comprehensive guidebook and crucial medical supplies, all carefully curated so you get to enjoy every moment of your trip. With a team of renowned medical professionals, including Dr. Peter McCullough and Dr. Drew Pinsky, both friends of this show, standing behind every kit, you know that you're in trusted hands no matter where life takes you. Don't leave anything to chance. Head to twc.health/Jimmy and order your travel emergency kit. That's twc.health/Jimmy, and use the code Jimmy to get an exclusive 15% off at checkout. Your health and your journey matter. Travel smart. Travel prepared. Kits are only available in the United States.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit